good one tonight. You got a team in here that would respect you.
Live from the Busch Lights video.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Table one Razorback.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Hey, what's up and good morning, everybody. Welcome into halftime at 11:01 on a Tuesday, January 6th. Getting things underway here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Olsen, Matt Jones, and Christian Johnston producing. Good to have the gang all together again for the second day in a row. We'll have Clay Henry. He's out duck hunting, so we'll check on the Wi-Fi at the Duck Club that he's taking residence up. We'll have Alyssa Orange in 30 minutes. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, for a lot of college football talk at 1:15. Matt Jones, good morning to you, man. I watched a championship game last night. Watched the fourth quarter. I guess it was the last 3 minutes of the third quarter as well of Illinois State and Montana State in the FCS championship. It was played at Vanderbilt's home stadium last night. It was a really entertaining game, and Montana State choked a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter, ends up winning in overtime. And it was like the same idea, a little bit different from that Steelers-Ravens game. A missed extra point, a blocked extra point on Illinois State. Actually had a chance to win the game with a field goal at expiration of regular time. That field goal was blocked. The extra point that would have given them a 7-point lead gets blocked, and then Montana State scores a touchdown, kicks a game-winning extra point to win. And I was really happy they did that because you remember we got into this yesterday. The last thing I want to see in this college football playoff is the championship game go to a third overtime of all 2-point conversions. I thought the FCS championship was going to go to that yesterday. Thank goodness it didn't.
Hey, happy Tuesday. That's super cool. No question about it. I know you brought up yesterday, you said you had watched the Independence Bowl, and it got me thinking a little bit, Phil. So do you know that the internet's down here? I'll call you back when I can call you back. But you don't ever watch the bowl games because the season's over. So all three of the bowl games playing for the Hogs, when the season's over, you don't watch it. Same thing at SEC tournament playing basketball. We'd go to the SEC tournament and play, and then when you would lose, you wouldn't watch any more film. So the last game of the year, a lot of times you don't actually get to go back and watch that film. So I've never seen that film of the Independence Bowl.
You never went back and watched. And I was getting ready for it so that I could watch, so that I could basically get us ready for the show on a day where I didn't think we were going to have a show. We end up not having a show. So that was FCS comes to an end yesterday, and what else do we got? The portal continues to be open. We touched on it yesterday. It's like you could react to every little thing that happens in the warp zone for Arkansas football, and it's difficult to know, what matters and what doesn't quite matter. If you lose out on somebody, did that matter all that much? It feels yesterday, Matt, that Arkansas did lose out on Carius Kern, that left tackle. I think played a little right tackle too at LSU from Marion. He was supposed to visit Arkansas, I think today. He made a visit to Oxford yesterday. He's not making a visit to Fayetteville. Hayes Fawcett confirms that he will be signing with Ole Miss. So I think that one means something because you are rebuilding. It really does. You are rebuilding that offensive line. I think right now you're down 3 starters from what I thought was a pretty good unit. Now you got to replace both tackles with Amarion Harris moving over to. Looks like did I hear he signed with Oklahoma or is committed to Oklahoma? And Robinson, the left tackle's out of eligibility. This was a guy that was already had, I think 4 or 5 starts for LSU, including one against Arkansas, and it would have been a plug-and-play kind of situation, I think. So that felt like a miss yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know about all these kids. Yeah, you got to go out and you want to get a couple kids that have been through a college offseason a time or two. You want to get some in-state kids. You want to get kids with talent. Maybe we win a game next year. I don't know. I don't know when this Arkansas team wins another conference game.
See, and what you say there is why when I see, there were some reactions from people that Arkansas lost just about the entire defensive line outside of Quincy Rhodes. Ken Talley, Danny Saili, Ian Giffard, Charlie Collins, Kavion Henderson, Caleb James, Kevin Otis, Justice Boone, all jumping into the portal. Giffard signing with Texas. And you
fired your defensive coordinator last year and hired some guy off the streets. Like, you can thank Bobby Petrino for half that. That's seriously. Like, what is going on? It's such a mess. Dan Eno set the offense back a little bit. We tried to come back, and then whatever that was last year set the defense back. How would you want to stay when you don't even know who your coach is? So I don't fault any of these defensive kids for getting in the portal.
But I also think to myself, it's like, if you think of the number one weakness for the team last year, it was an inability to stop the run. It was an inability to get much pressure on your quarterbacks, and your defensive line was a weakness. So it's like, all right, I think you kept your best lineman in Quincy Rhodes. You know you're going to be rebuilding. Basically you're rebuilding that side, and if think of it, well, that's fine, that's okay. But it all matters on who it is you go get now. You're not going to be going and getting Memphis's defensive line, and if that was the case, is that going to compete the way that you need to compete in the SEC? That's the thing I'm hitting on here. It's like there's over 2,600 players in the transfer portal right now. They've got dozens of them that are visiting Arkansas over these 2 weeks. And it's difficult to figure out, which of these things mean something, which of these things don't mean something. Because a lot of the names are just names. You don't really know what to connect them to. I just know the defensive line was a major weakness. And it's like you were going to rebuild it anyway. And I think you're going to be rebuilding it completely. I just thought that you needed to get your number one player in the state from 2 years ago to play tackle on the offensive side.
100%, I agree with you on that. That's good. But if you don't want to be here, then okay, cool. Did you see this stat, Phil? I know you see more stats than I do. So the Final Four in college football playoff, every single one of these 4 teams had 48% of their starters are above were in the portal. So 48% is the least amount.
You mean this is their first year with these teams?
They got them in the portal and they're starting. So they're all at 48, 50%, 60%. Like the lowest in the Final Four is 48%. So that's the new way. And I know we brought this up before we went on holiday, but do you pay attention to the portals or do you pay attention to the high school kids? And it's a no-brainer. You gotta make hay. You gotta make it work through the portal. That doesn't mean you don't want high school kids and you don't want to see them grow and get them a part of your foundation and your culture. But you gotta hit some of these portal gets.
Well, then, so one of the guys that they did get in the portal yesterday was the assumed starter next year at Memphis at quarterback, a kid named A.J. Hill who had offers from all the big name programs. He turned down. I think I saw Georgia. I think I saw a couple of other SEC programs in there to sign with Memphis. I think the idea would be you're going to get some early playing time. And yeah, I think he was on the field just a little bit last year, enough to redshirt. But
was
now
he the one that ran the ball on that port? Oh, that wasn't him yet.
No, wouldn't that have been something if you get the guy that carries Ian Giffard for about 9 yards? And then Giffard leaves for Texas, and you get that guy. No, I think that guy was a senior.
Does it worry you at all? I say worry. This is so much portal warp zone talk. It's ridiculous. Does it make you wonder when we have all these kids on an 0-8 team going to schools like Oklahoma, going to schools like Texas, going to other schools that are going to have a chance to be in the playoff next year?
I know, because it's like you watch. Just watch it. Luke has make a big touchdown catch in the last game for Ole Miss, and you kind of at times forgot he was even on their team this year. Jalen Braxton though is a reason that they are where they are. Look at Isaiah Satania. He was
balled out.
Oklahoma's top receiver, absolutely. It's different. I forget the name of the linebacker that transferred to Texas. And he might have been a starter at Arkansas to begin the season, but he ends up being a depth player there at Texas. I feel that could be the same idea for Ian Gerfard, who may start at Arkansas, but at Texas, I'm not sure if that'll be the case. Like, that's a guy that you felt, probably there's a lot of potential to go along with that big body, but I'm not quite sure, how much production that led to while he was here. So now it becomes Texas's issue.
How much does it matter? So if you put yourself in as a 19-year-old sophomore, redshirt sophomore, how much does it matter that you're going to a program that has a chance, like a legitimate above 50-50 chance to make the playoff 12, or you stay at a program that has a chance maybe to win one conference game next year? Like when you're thinking about, you're kind of like, well, you want to go play and win. Nobody wants to play you want to play, you don't want to sit on the bench, but you don't want to play and go, oh, and I wonder how much that in that psyche when you're talking, it's like, hey, because we haven't really had a winning culture here, so that's going to be tough. You got to flip that somehow where it's like, hey, if you go to Arkansas, you're going to win and you're going to play in big games. Said nobody. When is the last time Arkansas football played in a big game that meant anything?
Well, and it felt like some of the previous transfers you've gotten from other SEC teams, you've gotten them because they couldn't crack the lineup there. Or like Drew Sanders is the one that I think stands out more than anything.
And Landon Jackson, yeah.
But he's an outlier. Well, Landon Jackson too. That's right. LSU, the two of them, yeah. Probably the two that are a little bit different. I think Jackson would have cracked through at LSU eventually. With Drew Sanders, it was a matter of he wasn't being used the way he wanted to be used, and Sam and I guess Barry Odom was the DC then. We're fine, putting him on the inside or putting him on the outside. Pardon me, a lot more, But like Dwight McGlothern wasn't going to crack the lineup at Georgia. Does at Arkansas. That's why I thought Jaheim Singletary may have ended up being, a plus at Arkansas after leaving Georgia, but he didn't crack the lineup there. And then here he ends up losing a starting job after a season. So, man, I just know that even on an 0-8 team, there were talented pieces there. And I think Marion Harris is definitely one of them. I'd hate losing a guy that was going to be one of your starting tackles. But that also has to do something with the conversations with the coach too, don't you think? I mean, you're having conversations with this coach. Everybody's got to be honest about it. And, Andy Jean, it's a guy who barely got on the field for Arkansas, but it sounds like a conversation between him and Ryan Silverfield. Basically knew, I got to get on the portal. There's been a few others that have done the same thing. I just wouldn't think that you're going to be telling, a kid who's from the state, who's from Little Rock, after all the, how the show of importance of in-state high school seniors that just now committed and are going to sign with Arkansas, that one who'd already got SEC, experience might not have been part of your plans. Well, yes, that was a lot of portal talk to start the show. A lot of basketball to get to, too. There's a lot of other teams to get to as well in a really odd situation. I'm not sure if you saw this in East Lansing, Michigan yesterday. Matt, I'd like to see if you potentially would have ever been thrown out. You go to Bud Walton Arena today, you act really nice. You don't shout to the officials. You don't shout to the other players. I don't think you'd be kicked out of a game in a building that you had played in 22 years ago. That happened yesterday in East Lansing, Michigan. We'll touch on that in a moment. Stay with us. This is Halftime.
Call or text 877-377-6963.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Did we invent crispy chicken? Nah. We just put it where it belongs, inside burritos and tacos, obviously. Extra saucy. 2 strips, huh? Look at that. Overachieving? Sure. Did you ask for it? No, but we did it anyway. Crispy chicken from Taco Bell. A brand new classic. You're welcome.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Cross the street, going nowhere. I wanna be it's the land. Don't know why. Mine is shook. Can't feel drugs I took. Distant land. Don't know who I You got to remember, she was gonna die. Distant land.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Only 2 top 25 teams were in action yesterday. Michigan State was one of them, Matt. They hosted the Muss plane. You ain't taking a bus from Los Angeles to East Lansing. And it was ugly. 80-51 Michigan State wins. But in the second half of that game, there's a situation in which a Michigan State fan sitting in it looked like the 7th or 8th row on the other side from the benches screamed something at one of the officials. He blows the whistle, looks out at the stands, and then makes a beeline over to Tom Izzo. Talks to Coach Izzo for a couple of moments, and the gentleman, I shouldn't use the word, I guess, if you're getting thrown out of an arena, stands up, he's got a drink in his hand, and Izzo starts shouting at him. Basically, he's like, what the F are you doing? And then shouts, get out of here. And the guy does that. He does exactly that. He leaves. It turns out that this guy is a former Michigan State star who played 130 games for Tom Izzo between 2002 and 2006. Paul Davis, part of one of their Final Four teams. The guy, he was good. He played parts of 4 years in the NBA. Got himself kicked out of a game in the Chrysler Center yesterday, and here was Izzo postgame about it.
You know, I love Paul Davis. I really do. He's one of my favorite guys. He's always calling and doing things, but
right then and there, I'm just going to pause for a moment. The pregnant pause after he says he's always calling up and doing things. That's a loaded statement from Coach Izzo, and then he continues.
What he said, he should never say anywhere in the world, and that ticked me off. So just because it's 20 years later, I'm going to have to call him tomorrow and tell him what I thought of it. And he'll say, I screwed up, Coach.
He's about to get admonished by Coach Izzo 20 years after he played for him.
You know what? I bet he'll listen to him, too.
I bet he will.
I bet he listens.
Would you listen to Coach Richardson in Houston Net?
Every single day. Every single day.
So Izzo later in this statement made great pains to say he didn't say anything racial, didn't say anything sexual. So just leave yourself out. All right, so what else is going to get you kicked out of an arena if it's not either of those two things? You accuse the official of gambling, say something about his wife. Those are the two things I would point at, basically. Because you stand up and call a referee a clown. Half the building is doing that at one point or another. I'm trying to figure out what gets him kicked out here.
He said, how ass is the Spartans? Kim Kardashian. I think that might get you kicked out, right? That's a big ass.
I probably would. But then you'd have to say it in a way that would get you that would upset the official too.
Oh, he was yelling at the official.
He said something to the official.
Do you need some binoculars? Do you need a bifocal? You know what? A monocle? What was he saying?
Oh gosh, I'm just trying to picture. You know, just name a random Arkansas basketball star from 22 years ago.
Eric Ferguson.
All right, Eric Ferguson shows up.
He's New York. He's New York Mafia.
So he might actually have an attitude in a basketball arena.
Eric, he's a sweetheart. He's grimy when it came to the court, but I don't know. He was Charles Tatum, maybe Blake Edens. We both know Blake Edens, right? Like
Blake shows up at games, sure.
Yeah, Blake is he can be a smart type of guy, whatever that type of thing would be called. You know,
he's a heavy X-tweeter. That's not going to get you in trouble inside the building.
But he's got a little more reserve, though.
Yeah.
I just don't see Blake. I mean, Blake's so likable. Like everybody that comes around Blake, it's like you like him. You're like, yeah, I like Blake.
It just kind of makes me wonder what would get you kicked out of the stands that's not going to get you kicked off the floor. Are there different things here?
Maybe he talked about his mother.
That's
one thing, right? Don't talk about the mother.
If Izzo says this is something you should never ever say, it would probably be about someone's mom or wife, those two things. Anything else, probably, as long as it's not racial or sexual, is fair game at this point. But yeah, that's why I was also looking at like how are any of these West Coast teams going to perform at a high level in the Big Ten in basketball? Muss's team just got outscored by Michigan and Michigan State in a 4-day stretch by a final of, it would be 176 to 117 in 2 games. There's 2 good teams. And then they got to go to Minnesota this weekend. So that's 2 games in Michigan and a game in Minnesota on a 3-game stretch for your Big Ten USC basketball Trojans.
I watched that game last night, and I was very unimpressed with USC. Like, I know they were playing Michigan State, but they couldn't do anything on offense. They really didn't have an identity on offense. Chad Baker-Mazara looks kind of lost on that team. He's just kind of, I mean, when he's like your go-to player, there's a problem. I mean, he's one of the, it's like they were relying on him to score. And that one guy they had, Alsar or whatever. But it was just bad basketball. I mean, and I don't know if that's partly because of Michigan State, but they looked bad.
At East Lansing, we saw that. That's what should give you a little hope about this Arkansas Razorback basketball team. And it's nobody goes into East Lansing and wins. It's hard to do. That environment, that atmosphere, and you were, Christian, before the show we were talking about Tennessee's bigs and how physical they were. Same thing. Michigan State, they've taken the identity of their coach on. If you were to say over the last, what's Tom Izzo been there, 30 years? Like physicality. When you play Michigan State, you know that they're going to be physical.
All right, well, the idea that Arkansas stood up against them physically, and also, I think there were moments in the Tennessee game where maybe you worry a little bit about the Arkansas front court. Is there anything that you've seen here in the games that matter? You know, game against Houston, Texas Tech, Tennessee, where the front court is the thing that's going to keep Arkansas from advancing deep in March? Because I'm pretty convinced about the backcourt right now, and your veteran front court, of which you're hoping to get consistency. That's where I'm seeing the lack of it. I guess the same with Malik Thomas, but 2 games in a row, his shot's back.
Well, we'll just say, I don't, that James Madison game. Yes, he had to go out there and do it. No question about that. Our backcourt, our front court. When you're talking about Pringle, Brazile, and Knox, even Billy Richmond and Malik Ewan, I guess those are the people you're wanting to get rebounds from. Wagner, even, we're fine. That's not a coach. Coach Calipari, all his teams going, but he's had a really good defensive big in Anthony Davis when he won a national championship. He's had Boogie Cousins. Marcus Camby's one of the best defensive players to ever play. That's what Pringle's trying to be that defense. You're going to look at his stat line. He's probably going to have 4 fouls a game. He might have a steal, but you're hoping that he can get rebounds and he bangs. He's doing his thing. The thing I would be encouraged about, Phil, to kind of answer your question, who's gotten better the last 2 weeks? Malik Ewan. Are you not, you have to be a little bit excited seeing him play and kind of what he's been doing. You're like, ooh, there we go. That's what now maybe we were thrown off a little bit because, it's expectation. It's what we see. And we kind of thought Pringle was going to be the guy. Maybe it's you, but my thing is you need both of them. You still got to have an enforcer in there getting some fouls. Even if Pringle plays 15 minutes a game, that's fine. You're not running a single offensive play for him.
That's the thing I was going to hit on. If you look at the numbers on his box score, what matters for me for Pringle are the minutes. Mm-hmm. As he picked up that 3rd foul right after halftime in the Tennessee game, so you're not going to see him very much afterwards.
Because you're going to need him. Yeah, exactly.
It's fine, 4 fouls, whatever. 4 fouls. Because and he gets 1 rebound in the Tennessee game, but I felt like he was responsible for other players grabbing 4 or 5, 6 rebounds.
He's making them change their shot. He's in the way where they're getting off balanced. I saw him a couple times, Phil, when they would show a replay. He was putting his and banging.
It's real banging.
That goes a long ways, man. That goes a long ways.
And that's why it's like, so the biggest thing for Pringle, forget about the points, the rebounds, any of that. It's fouls and minutes because he's got to be on the floor. I mean, it's not like he's the I don't think you don't need Nick Pringle out there for 30 minutes, but I think you're going to need him out there for more than 12 minutes and 55 seconds, especially against a team like Tennessee. And then again, they beat Tennessee with him playing less than 13 minutes. So who knows?
My question would be, do you think these guys play themselves in shape? Do you think these guys are already in shape? Would you like to see Coach Cal add another player to the rotation? Because we got 8 players playing, that's it. And you saw Acuff on the ground, huffing and puffing and getting his, we were asking a lot out of that freshman. Would you like to see anything with the rotation, or do you think, which he doesn't listen to this show, he doesn't care what we say, but is this the 8? Is there some other player you see on the roster that you could say, man, he could be in the rotation to play? Because if you're in the rotation, you're going to play 10-plus minutes.
Feels to me the only guy that is in that conversation would be Sealy. That's it.
We haven't seen him in it. He didn't play. He played 0 minutes against Houston. He hasn't played in a big game all year.
Yeah, the thing with Acuff was a little that was a little odd seeing him so winded, but I guess that has so much to do with how hard he's playing. But
it's
I
tough
thought they were in shape. There hasn't been a moment this year where I thought that the team was out of shape. That was the one moment where I thought to myself, I'd be surprised if something like that happens again.
Well, all basketball players that know this, and I'm not saying anything that if you've played basketball that you don't know. It is tough to have to bring the ball up the court every time.
Yeah.
That's energy. You talk about stress pitches, and that's having somebody on second base the whole time. You have to bring the ball up the whole game. Man, it's like you're playing a totally different game than just running down jogging down the side of to go stand in the corner and then get the offense. Man, it's hard work. That's why can somebody alleviate a little bit of those minutes going forward?
I'm not sure if there is anyone right. I think you got your 8. I'm pretty sure you got your 8 right here. 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Alyssa Orange from Varsity Vibe will join us in just a minute. Stay with us. It's halftime.
I'm doing this with freshmen. That's what I'm doing.
This is halftime.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom designs that let everyone know who you're rooting for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing stacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN, 1 free year of Perplexity Pro, and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Mommy, Daddy, look at me. I went to school and I got a degree. All my friends call it the big D. I went to school and I got the big D. 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 I went to school and I got the big D. Is your muffin buttered? Would you like us to assign someone to butter your muffin? Excuse me. Excuse me. What?
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now. Now let's get back to Halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend, Matt Jones.
Head to our Lewis Automotive Group hotline on a Tuesday morning for Alyssa Orange from Varsity Vibe, sports director. VarsityVibeAR.com to get a look. And, of course, you can download the Varsity Vibe podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. And welcome back home, too, Alyssa, right? You were gone, you were back on the
Yes.
East Coast for how long? A couple weeks, 1 week?
Just a week, Sunday to Saturday, which was great. You know, got a lot of family in that Maryland, D.C., Virginia area, so it's good to see them. The kids were troopers because there's a lot of moving around, seeing family, but we got to have a lot of fun and took the kids to D.C. I always like to take them into the city. My dad lives downtown. I'm telling you, Phil, I'm saying like from the rooftop of his apartment complex, I could throw a rock into center field of National Stadium. It's really cool.
Pretty cool. Never been to a game there. I'd love to see that ballpark.
Me neither. So I want to go. And guess who they open up the season with? Opening weekend.
Oh, is it the Pirates?
No.
Who?
Dodgers.
Sorry.
Oh, your
the Dodgers. Yes.
Oh, the only team that really matters. That's right.
You thought she cared about you, Phil.
I thought you were going to be like, yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. We'll root for that team. You can root for one team. No, it's Alyssa's favorite. The only team that matters.
I'm a one-track mind.
I get you.
But yeah, so anyway, so it was good. But it's right there by the ballpark and right by the river in the Navy Yard. Really cool. And then I said, what do you want to see? What are the two things you want to see, babe, when we go to D.C.? And he said the Declaration of Independence and the White House. So we did both of those things. It was very fun.
That's good. It's a good trip. So then conference season is starting for basketball then, right? We had tournament season during the holidays, and now it is conference season. A couple teams that you're interested in as we start conference play?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, when conference play starts, all these teams are obviously, full speed ahead. And you look at a big game right now in Central Arkansas tonight. You have Bryant, your defending 6A state champions, and then Little Rock Christian with, of course, J.J. Andrews. That game tonight at 7 o'clock at Little Rock Christian. And J.J.'s been dealing with that injury since his incident at Fayetteville High School. And I believe he is back for conference play. So this is a big game with Bryant and Little Rock Christian. Should be a fun one tonight. You also have Harbor taking on Bentonville West. They'll take on Fayetteville at the end of the week. A lot of teams up here as well. Farmington getting into action. The girls I was able to talk with Fort Smith Southside head coach Ricky Smith, and of course the girls won last year in the 6A, trying to see if they can win another state title. They start conference, and so it's a lot of exciting basketball. And we've talked about this. The basketball talent in this state is deep. And every team, it feels like, has a player that could play on the collegiate level. And so this is really where it all matters, and it's an exciting time.
Alyssa and I were texting a couple of days ago, and there's a new NIL platform that the University of Arkansas has partnered with. Then there's another new platform which is not part of the Razorback Athletic Department, and not a partner with them, but is focused on is called ChooseArkansas.org. This just was launched, I think, yesterday. And tell us, I know, are you involved with Choose Arkansas, Alyssa? And tell us what this is about and how people can get involved.
Well, for me, it's just about, really seeing their vision and hearing their vision. David and I have been good friends for a while, and Peyton, of course, was involved with Pigpen Collective, and he tried to start that last year around football season, and just giving fans a platform to feel like they can get involved and help support these student athletes on an NIL financial side of things, that it felt like, maybe it was an option that fans could see their ways of their money going in a good direction, in the direction that they want. And a word that they've used when I've talked to them is transparency. And that's where they felt like with Edge, specifically David as a longtime member with the foundation, and with Edge, he didn't feel like necessarily things were always transparent or where the money was going. This is another option. They want to make it very clear they're not competing with the university or Link U. They're just giving fans another option and another way to support student athletes. And the biggest thing with Choose Arkansas is it's not just the University of Arkansas. You can go in, if you go on their website, and you can look at how, if you want to join and you want to make a donation, you can easily go and pick a school that you want to partner with. And so maybe that's Arkansas State, and you want to give to the baseball team at Arkansas State, or you want to give to the basketball team at Little Rock, or the basketball team at UAPB. You're able to do that. It's not just the University of Arkansas, but they hope that fans can maybe see this as another option with the transparency of this is where your money is going and this is how you're supporting student athletes.
Man, and NIL is so interesting because this has no affiliation with the University of Arkansas, or I guess any of the other, any of the programs necessarily. But is this the kind of thing that Arkansas has lacked? Have there not been, the kind of third party? Well, it's not third party platform. It's just a group that's not affiliated with the university. I guess when you're trying to start an organization, you look to fill a void, and it seems like that's exactly what this is.
And I think so. I think the conversations that they've had with athletes, the conversations that they've had with other foundation members or fans or donors, boosters, what have you, is maybe just feeling like there needs to be another option. And so you have the foundation, and you have Link U, and you have the university, and this is just another pillar to help rise all of the student athletes in the state of Arkansas, really focus on the state of Arkansas, right? The athletes who are here in the state, partnering with businesses in the state, they feel like if they can rally Arkansans together, all it does is help everybody across the board. It's
so difficult to just keep up with everything that's going on in the portal right now. We just connect everything. Mm-hmm. You connect the portal to NIL specifically, and the way that I'm thinking about this is it's not just the athletic departments that have to be creative on an annual basis. It's also it's also the fans in this case, because that's what you're talking about here. I mean, these are
right.
These are people that don't work at the university. They might have been connected in one way or another, but you got to find ways, just creative ways to keep raising money and keep it going in perpetuity too. And I think the perpetuity aspect is the part that's a little bit difficult sometimes.
Yeah, and you have to look at it as a way of being able to say, okay, if you're a fan and you might not have big money to donate, but you want to be involved or you want to feel like you have a spot at the table, maybe it's $2, maybe it's $5, $10. And that's what they're saying, is it doesn't have to be a lot. But if you're a fan and you want to give, then you can, in any amount you want, just to help Arkansas, to help Arkansas State or UAPB or Little Rock or whatever school you may choose, and feel like you're making an impact, because that's where we are with college athletics right now, is that money talks, and I think everybody knows that. But I also think people want to be able to make it feel like their money is being used in a way that they want it to be used. And I think that we have felt as a fan base with Arkansas, that I'm hearing when I talk to fans, is that they just want to feel a little bit more connected, and this is an opportunity to potentially do so. So I think this is maybe something that can really grow in Arkansas and really tap into what Arkansas has to offer these student athletes in the state, and not just feel like it has to come from big money donors all the time.
Sounds good, Alyssa. I hope it works out. We'll talk about it a little bit as we have you on these Tuesdays, and always appreciate your time. Have a great rest of the week, okay?
Yeah, guys, thanks so much. Always good to talk to you.
Alyssa Orange from Varsity Vibe. You can get a look at varsityvibear.com. Download the Varsity Vibe podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. Tip-off tomorrow for Arkansas Ole Miss is 8 p.m. Be at Joe's Grilling Cantina, because if you're wearing your Razorback gear, half-price apps and cheap taps, just like they did during football season, same during basketball season. Complimentary chips and homemade salsa, fresh made from scratch. Daily Mexican-inspired specials and happy hour deals from 3 to 6. It's Joe's Grilling Cantina, the best place to watch Arkansas games and enjoy happy hour, fast, friendly service. All at Joe's across from Harps on 74th in Fort Smith, and online at joesfortsmith.com. Our number on halftime for calls and texts is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Back to wrap up the first hour in just a moment.
No offense, but when you only win 2 football games, a lot of things got to get done.
This is halftime.
A new year is here, and Gelco Outdoors is ready to help you with a new pair of comfortable casual work or safety shoes and boots. The largest selection of footwear in the River Valley. Start the new year off in comfort. Warm winter clothing in stock to keep old man winter at bay. Cheers to you, and Happy New Year from your locally owned Gelco Outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. Got a lot going on during the week. I really don't want to leave the office, but my stomach's still growling. Thankfully, my buddy Mitchell introduced me to DK Fit Meals. David and his team put together incredible meal preps for me each and every week. Mitchell, I'm sure glad you recommended DK Fit Meals.
And with Arkansas basketball season underway, finding time to cook every night just isn't that easy. So with DK Fit Meals, I've got meals that are ready to go in just a matter of minutes. Find your flavor at dkfitmeals.com. That's dkfitmeals.com. So easy, even Ty can do it. Fuel your life with DK Fit Meals.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down. Take you in my arms. I'm in love with you. Love that is true. Boom, 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 boom.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, get the alarm bells whistling and everything. Arkansas did secure the commitment of a defensive tackle from USC, Carlin Jones, 6'2", 310 pounds, was a top-flight prospect coming out of high school, got into 8 games last year with USC, 3 solos and 1 assist. So there you go. There's the rebuilding of the defensive line, Matt. It starts with the defensive tackle from USC. And, how do you look at that? Again, it's like you don't know much about this. The kid, if you're recruited to USC, you are going to be
potential.
Yeah, it's all potential. That's the word.
There's potential there, and that's what we talked about earlier when you're seeing guys on an 0-8 Arkansas team go to Texas, go to Oklahoma, go South Carolina, wherever they're going, and you're like, well, still a good – they're still good. These are still 1%ers. I mean, you're at Arkansas, you're at USC – you're probably pretty good. It's just can the message from somebody else get through to you? Because a lot of schools, they're preaching the same thing. Sometimes you just got to hear it again, and then sometimes you need another college offseason, and then sometimes you need a change of scenery. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into getting these athletes to play to their best ability.
Well, and I think you can't help but wonder if some of it's also were there negotiations for this young defensive tackle that didn't go the way he wanted them to go at USC, and they will go the way he wanted them to go at Arkansas. It's a coaching staff over there that already worked with him, so they understand what that potential is compared to the sort of work ethic that you might need in order for that to blossom. I'm not making any indictment of the kid at all. It's just there's going to be there's like half a dozen to more than that reasons why somebody's going to jump in the portal, especially from a place like USC, and join Arkansas. Going to get some playing time would be my expectation at Arkansas. which is going to be a good thing.
And you got to start somewhere. You got to get a couple of them. It's not going to, you get one, you get another one, you start building a little roster. And come on, man, he wants to be here. Let's give him a chance.
Happy 32nd birthday, famous Jameis. Jameis Winston, 32nd birthday today, which also coincides with the 12th anniversary of Jameis's MVP performance in the 2014 Rose Bowl, which is Florida State's last national champion, 34-31 over Auburn. That was a great game. Came down to the last drive. Jameis had, I think it was a minute 3 to get them to the position to score the game-winning touchdown. And I saw some players from that game that are still playing in the NFL. Jalen Ramsey and Jameis Winston, both still in the NFL. And also an 89th birthday today of Lou Holtz.
Who was that receiver that caught the touchdown there? Because he played for a while in the league. He was a first round pick. I can't remember that guy's name, but it's also one of my favorite SNL personalities ever in the history of SNL, Kate McKinnon. She is 42 years young today. That's Jackie Robinson.
She's still on that show?
Nope.
Just the look on her face.
She's not on there. She's just watching. That doesn't mean she doesn't come back and do cameos or whatever, but she's still, she's one of those where, Jerry Seinfeld has the things like, what, am I funny? Yeah, he's like, yeah, just standing here, I'm funny. Yeah, you're kind of funny. To me, she's always just kind of funny.
We're moving to hour number 2 of halftime, and Hall of Famer, Emmy Award winner Clay Henry will be joining us for the remainder of the show. Did a little bit of duck hunting, so that's exciting. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Matt, it was Kelvin Benjamin that caught that game-winning touchdown from Jameis Winston for the national title for Florida State over Auburn. And Benjamin, yes, was a first-round pick of the Carolina Panthers that very same year. Stay with us. Hour number 2 of halftime in just a moment.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one Baby Shad. The original Baby Shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original Baby Shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
for today. Plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be into the low 70s. Tonight, mainly a clear and overnight low upper 30s to low 40s. Wednesday, we will be in and out of the clouds. Our high on Wednesday in the mid to upper 60s. Showers, a chance of some storms on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Because I know there were a bunch that jumped off the bandwagon.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that would respect it.
Live from the Busch Lights video.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
What name of one Razorback? It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back on halftime. It's hour number 2 at 12:01 on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson along with Matt Jones and Kristen Johnston in our producer's chair, working on getting Clay Henry in with us. Might have a little equipment issue where the duck hunting is going on. So we'll figure that out as it continues to work through here. I still say I've never been hunting before, Matt, of any kind. Unless you're counting going out and stepping on ants. Yes, bargains and ants. Duck hunting would be the one kind I think I would give a shot to. Although, truthfully, you go fishing, that's hunting. It's just a different kind. Nobody calls fishing hunting, but that is kind of the same thing, isn't it?
The thing about duck hunting is you never want a hole in your waders, that's for sure. And when you're doing the decoys and you're doing things that they're out there, because I've been duck hunting, I don't know, 50 times in my life. If your hands get cold or you get a hole in your waders, you might as well go home because it's not enjoyable. Like that's you're sitting there in your hands, you're like, it's like trying to play golf and it's 38 degrees outside. You know, you got the decoys in the water. You got to make sure you got to spend the money to get the right accoutrement if you want to go duck hunting.
Duck hunting for me was usually just sitting on a couch with the Nintendo in front of you, and it's like, wow, this is fun. We can do this on a regular basis. Why not? Oh, there are all these other things that you have to put your time and money into. As I get a text in from Ryan that says it's miserable unless you got a ton of money, or unless somebody's just willing to let me. Now, Matt, you've let me borrow a putter before.
Scotty Cameron.
Yeah, but that worked okay. Even though you're quite a bit taller than I am, I don't think I could borrow any of your waders. It's not going to fit me. So I just probably have to just go out and buy my own stuff. Either that, or I'll just do you duck hunt in the summertime?
What size shoe do you wear? 10.5?
10.5 to 11. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm a 15.
I know.
So we would be different. Yeah.
It would be the definition of swimming in your shoes, man. Would be rather uncomfortable. Let's see here. Darius Acuff wins a 4th consecutive SEC Freshman of the Year, Matt. I guess by this point, you just sort of pencil his name in for the league Freshman of the Year, 4 in a row. Now,
Freshman All-American.
Yeah, when you win them in the non-conference, that's one thing. But you know, he's won those playing against Texas Tech, against Houston, and now for his performance against Tennessee. Man, I mean, remember, I think it was about a month ago, we went and looked through the entire SEC at all the rosters, and the only team that had their 2 leading scorers be freshmen is Arkansas. And as you come into conference play, That's not a thing that I'm worried about. Is that a thing that you're worried about at all? Because these two are just so incredibly talented.
I wonder when Carter Knox gets going. It's hard to get going sometimes when you're not a primary ball handler. The one thing that gives me a little bit of hope and encouragement, two of the best plays that were made against Tennessee came in the second half. One of them was the 4-point play by the freshman, but 2 times in about a 3-minute span, Carter Knox got an offensive rebound and went back up and got a put in. Just being an athlete, because he reminds me a little bit of Carmelo Anthony. If you remember Melo at Syracuse, he can kind of do some of that things and go get the board, and he's skilled enough. When is Carter Knox going to – what does Carter Knox average double-digit points in the SEC?
Well, I think he's got the ability to, yes.
If he doesn't, I don't know that I don't think this team wins the SEC.
Mm. We have Hall of Famer and Emmy Award winner Clay Henry with us here. Good afternoon, Clay. Happy New Year. Well,
Clay,
I thought
Clay,
he
what's
heard
up?
me, but he didn't hear me there. So
I can hear him in the.
I know.
Yeah.
I heard him there, but I'm not sure if he hears us.
Clay, we hear you.
Anyway, I was just looking at Ole Miss. That's your next opponent tomorrow. Just got blown out by Oklahoma in the second half on the road. Winning on the road is a completely different situation, of course. And I guess that's one aspect where you look at your veterans as the reasons why you can win a game on the road. But I don't think it's going to work with Clay today. He's got problems with the equipment. So let me get over to assistant coach Chuck Martin on winning on the road, and we'll discuss this a little bit.
Well, I think you got to take care of the ball, particularly against a team like Ole Miss. You got to take care of the ball. They turn you over. They're going to get after you defensively. I think you've got to create second and third opportunities on the glass. If it's one of those nights where it's not a great shooting night from the perimeter, can you create second and third opportunities on the offensive glass? And then can you drive the ball, get into the paint, and get to the free throw line? Can you get to the bonus early in the game and a double bonus?
Yeah. See, if you look at that Tennessee game as one that could have gone either way depending on what building it's being played in. I think Tennessee is a quality team, maybe even a very high quality team. I don't look at Ole Miss quite the same way. So I think that this is a game, Matt, where I'm not sure if the Hogs need that home crowd behind them in order to generate some momentum. Take care of the ball. They took care of the ball to a point against Tennessee. Now there were 14 turnovers.
We had a couple lapses. We need to tighten up and button up a little bit. But when you're just talking about athletes and who has the better 8, no question Arkansas is going to have the better 8 at Ole Miss and at Auburn. The thing is, it's so hard to win on the road. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's football and we always say Coach Pittman's going to get one on the road. Like, it's hard in the SEC, and this team is special. There's no question about it. This team could be special, but they still got to write it's still got to be written. We're just projecting and saying potential and kind of seeing what we see, but it still has to be written.
When I think of things you got to do in order to win games on the road, it's to keep the opponent out of a chance for the home crowd to help them build momentum. When I'm watching a Razorback baseball game on the road, you can't walk opponents when you're on the road. You can't put your team in positions where, a little dribbler or a little dunk or one error is going to lead to a big inning. So it's mistakes on the road, I think, in every sport that you wonder about, that you worry about more than anything. False starts in football. It was crazy yesterday. I'm watching this FCS championship game, Matt. Montana State, the winner, had 9 false starts. The 9th one in overtime probably shouldn't have even been called, but by that point, the officials are looking for every movement. I've never heard of that before.
Would we get Billy Richin got a 10-second violation, right? You get some of those. You get a 5-second inbounds being at home, an extra possession here, because when you're football, you're just trying to get. If you can get 2 extra possessions, odds are you should probably win the game. If you can get 2 extra. Same thing in basketball. I don't know what the number is, but if you can get 2, 3, 4 extra possessions a half, gives you a way better chance.
Here's Charlie the Tuna on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, and good afternoon to you, Charlie. What's up?
What's up? Phil, I've already said it, but I want to say it on the air. Congratulations to you. And then I'll leave it at that on winning that award, because you definitely deserve it. But I'm biased. I feel like all you guys should get an award. So That's the way I feel. But Matt, you said about Carter, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I think he's another guy. You don't necessarily have to call. He's so talented. He's so athletic. You don't have to call a play for him. He can affect the game in other ways too. And you just pointed it out. I mean, the ability. I mean, what does this guy? Cal always says this guy can jump 41 inches, right? Isn't that what he says? He always brings that up for a guy. And then I think he said, I believe it was last night I listened to this. For Carter, I showed him the plays where he didn't go in there and try to get a rebound. And then I showed him the plays where he did and how impactful they were. So, again, there's only one ball. I think that's part of it, too. We know Darius Acuff is going to have the ball in his hands a lot because why not? He deserves to, right? It just makes sense. But I wonder, too, guys, as we, move along here, do you think this team starts to get zoned more? Because I do. Because I just think they're too hard to stay in front of. And, once we get into a game where it's more of a half-court game, if they're not taking the ball away, that's what I want to see if this team can do, find a way to attack a zone defense because it's easier said than done. And then
I think they would do well against the zone, Charlie.
I'm with you, depending on the position of guys and where they put them. I agree with you if they do it right. But also, I think that you got to find a way to keep Acuff out of the paint. You got to do something. Nobody's going to stay in front of this kid. Also, I think you'll see teams trap him more on ball screens as we go. I think it's coming. I think it did come against Houston a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, they did it. And we got to be able to go after that. Once you get the ball out, it's 4-on-3. And who I really trust in that situation is if Ewing comes up and he gets that ball right there because he's a playmaker. So it's going to happen. But, Matt, what do you see? Do you think, with Acuff, because you can't – I don't know how you stop this kid. Like Cal said, he's big. You can't leave him open from three. He's a 40+% three-point shooter. I didn't know he was that good of a three-point shooter. I'm just going to say that. But, I mean, you can't do that. He can go left. He can go right. So maybe you get the ball out of his hands, which will help Carter Knox and other guys make plays. I think Acuff has matured enough now to where he will pass the ball and put it where it needs to be because I trust him. He's cool with giving it to his teammates and them having success. And anyway, when you go on the road, yeah, you're right, Matt. It's weird things that happen on the road. Some guy that shoots 20% from three might make 4 threes against you. That's what you hope doesn't happen. As you said, Phil, to let the home crowd get in there and affect the game. Take care of the ball, and we got a shot. And make your free throws. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Yeah, you got it, Charlie. I like the idea of Arkansas against a zone, Matt. I think you got the shooters, and I still think it'd be tough even in a zone for anybody to stay in front of Acuff. That's going to leave somebody open.
Well, and he's right about that screen up top. We had a couple turnovers against Tennessee, and I don't know if if Acuff leaves his feet, if our guard's leaving, and if the guy's not flaring or slipping like what he's supposed to do. It's almost like you could see Coach Cal grab the big and tell him this is what you were supposed to do. So that does. It makes you think, especially when you've come up and down the court 5 times and all of a sudden they trap that screen and you're not paying attention. So that's what I mean when they got to tighten up a little bit. But man, the talent's there. What's not to love about this team since you watched them play their first couple games to now? I mean, all they've done has gotten better.
Well, and I love that you have. We see Acuff as a freshman, but this guy doesn't play like a freshman, Matt. I think he's playing chess where other folks are playing checkers. He knows where the ball is going when he
knows how to make the right play.
Well, and I think he's thinking ahead. He's thinking ahead. He knows he's going to get a second defender coming to him on the baseline. There's going to be somebody open on the far side. He's thinking ahead. And I don't think that, let's say you bring up the idea of the pressure of being a point guard and the ball being in your hands as much as it is, and it doesn't seem to affect him at all. And I feel the same way about DJ Wagner, who has taken, a step back in terms of the responsibility that he had from last year, but he's still the same player. That's still a leader on the court when he's there. And I love, Knox sometimes a little out of control, but in a good athletic way. Brazile, I think, is still up and down. Pringle, we've got to know what's important about him is be a little difficult staying on the court. Malik Thomas has shown that there's been swings. Ewan is coming around right now. Billy Richmond is that athlete that it's like, all right, just go ahead and play at 11 or maybe even 13 out of 10. But the guys that settle it all down Darius Acuff and then DJ Wagner can still be that guy. And they all have different roles. It's like, do you need a ninth player? I've sometimes thought 8 is not quite enough. I think 8 is enough for this group.
Well, as long as you don't have any injuries and you always have to be ready. And you're right. Being a point guard is a lot like being a quarterback. Well, you've seen the defense. You know what they're doing. You know where they're trapping from. You know if the big's halfway in between his man and the other guy, corner blitz is coming. You know, like you start recognizing pattern recognition. And I think you're right. I think he's gotten better as the season's gone on.
Well, let's see if Ole Miss does zone him up. I say go for it.
If you zone him up, the thing that it does is it could hurt us because we could get lazy. Like if you got to still attack. Zone him up doesn't just mean for us to shoot threes, which I like all of our guys out there that can shoot threes. But you still got to attack.
It's still about getting into the paint.
Exactly. If you fall in love with it, then all of a sudden you miss 5 in a row. They get 3 long rebounds and 2 easy baskets. Then advantage them. So you still got to play aggressive. But I'm with you. I don't think you can play zone against Arkansas because all of our guys out there can shoot a 3-point shot, except for Pringle.
But there's also, so if you're going to try to stay in front of the Arkansas ball handlers, Acuff can get past them still, even in a zone. I think Wagner can too. I think they'll find a way into the paint. Go ahead and do it. See what happens. The guards will find a way into that paint. It's going to open up some shots on the outside. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We got a phone call from Brian in Ozark. Happy New Year, Brian. How are you? Brian, we went right to you. You're not there, so maybe not a Happy New Year. At least not yet. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. This is Halftime.
Call or text 877-377-6963.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Did we invent crispy chicken? Nah. We just put it where it belongs, inside burritos and tacos, obviously. Extra saucy. 2 strips, huh? Look at that. Overachieving? Sure. Did you ask for it? No, but we did it anyway. Crispy chicken from Taco Bell, a brand new classic. You're welcome.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, HOGS, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
You can say because it's done. You can say that you're not play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make can be made. What you can say, say. Nothing you can do, let it be you inside. It's easy. All you need is love.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
We have to do a very quick, very first 2026 pop quiz. C Unit, who are the Beatles?
Let me turn my mic on. George Harrison, Ringo Starr, Paul McCartney, and then who am I missing?
Who was Brian Jones?
I can't remember who I'm missing is the thing.
This is only the 15th. This is maybe the 20th different time we've asked the question.
It's the new year, though.
Paul McCartney, George Harrison.
The guy that was
Ringo
singing right
Starr,
there.
Yoko Ono.
And
initials J.
John Lennon, yeah.
John Lennon. Very good.
I get John Lennon and like 3 other people confused. I don't know why.
Eric Clapton, Lou Reed, Brian Jones.
I do get them confused. For some reason, I want to say freaking Eddie Vedder, too.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Oh, that's right. The Beatles. That's Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen, Eddie Vedder, and Katy Perry.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know. You know, out of all that group, Katy Perry's probably, I would listen to her before those other 3 that you just mentioned.
I'd watch her videos over the others.
I think she's married to the dude from Canada, the Prime Minister right now.
I don't know if they're married yet, but they may be on the road to it.
Okay, they don't call it that, yeah.
I don't know if it's, well, you know, things are a little bit different when you're French, Canadian.
What a change, huh?
Here's Brian in Ozark on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. He tried us back again. Let's try this again. Happy New Year, Brian.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. And I could hear you. I lost you a while ago. I could hear you talking, but I couldn't talk. But anyways, yeah, this year's doing great so far.
Yeah, so far so good.
Right. So let me ask you a question about the transfer portal.
Shoot.
And I know that I keep hearing how much money Arkansas has recouped and they've got for players and all this. But it seems to me like they're recruiting players in numbers, but not in quality. You know, I mean, does that kind of seem right?
I think you have to recruit in numbers, though, don't you? It's like you got to cast a
kind
really
of
wide net.
Muscleman difference. It's like you're kind of recruiting like Muscleman did in basketball. Yeah, we're going to try to recruit 700 players, and hopefully we get 12.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're recruiting from like Georgia State and from these JUCO players, and how does that add up to SEC quality wins? That's what I'm wondering about.
It's a legitimate
these kids
question.
that are coming.
Look, there are going to be those diamonds in the rough, so to speak, and you have found some of those diamonds previously. It's just the rough is the rough for a reason. That's not where you're going to be building the program up from, right? That's why you get a defensive tackle out of USC, and thinking, well, maybe there's something there, right? So you get a Cincinnati defensive back who's Rodney Harrison's son. And I'm not sure if you know what it is to make out of him. But I'm fine casting a wide net. I think at Arkansas, you have to cast a wide net.
But you look at these players, and you mentioned this a while ago. Ian, that was the number 4 defensive tackle in the portal, that is now at Texas. Then he's going to start for Texas. He will be a starter. You lost Brad Spence last year. That's going to be a starting linebacker at Texas this year. You're losing quality players like Matt mentioned a while ago to OU and Texas and all these other players. I'm just wondering if Arkansas just doesn't know how to evaluate talent, how to utilize their players or what, because all these kids that are going to Power 4 schools obviously are very good because all these other Power 4 schools want them, but they didn't work for Arkansas. That's the coach's fault, right?
Potentially. I look at a guy like Gaffrard, and I see a special kind of a body to play at that position, and be like, well, let's see if this works. And at Arkansas, maybe it wasn't just because of him. The entire unit really was poor, was not good. They told us that from the start, just in so many words. But with Gaffrard, I see just a lot of potential, and I don't know if it was realized necessarily. I mean, you remember this is the kid that the Memphis backup quarterback carried for 8 yards on his back, which shouldn't happen. So it's like, well, now I don't know how to view that. Do you view that as, well, maybe he's going to go start for Texas, and that's great for him and great for Texas potentially, but also maybe that's Texas's problem now. I view that differently than Amarion Harris. I thought Harris showed some things. Now, Gaffrard made some tackles and everything. I mean, it's not like he was a complete zero. But I do losing your starting tackle to an SEC team it's not a matter of not being a good look. It's just not good. I think I think that was somebody you could have built a line with. So
yeah, he's obviously pretty daggum good because Will Muschamp that's the guy he went after. So he wanted him pretty bad. So I'm just curious. I mean, it seems like if you recruit 70 players and 5 of them work out, you wasted a whole lot of money for nothing. That's just my thoughts, and
that's all true.
You guys have a great day.
No, that's all true. Thank you, Brian. I do think now. Look, and Dave says, well, everybody knows where Ole Miss's quarterback came from now. That's well known information, and there are those diamonds in the rough. But the phrase is a phrase for a reason. There aren't a lot of Division II players that are going to get up to the SEC and succeed at that level. Now, we've seen it at Arkansas in a couple of cases. But no, you're not going to be building your program around junior college or I even think around Group of 5 transfers. But then that also goes to the idea, Matt, that probably most of the transfers that you're getting, at least for the moment, feel like they may be coming from Memphis. You got the Memphis right now. You've got their second leading receiver from last year, the leading rusher, Sutton Smith. He's committed to Arkansas. The second string quarterback in Hill. And I'm just assuming that's 3 of how many Memphis Tigers that are coming here?
It's a tough job, man. Nobody said it's going to be easy. It's tough to be the Arkansas head football coach in this conference. And so I like it, though. I think we got the right man for the job, and I'm excited to see what Coach Silverfield puts out there this September.
Yeah, and we're going to have a sense of what that roster looks like on January the 16th. It's next Friday is when the portal closes. And from my estimation is that's just about getting into the portal, not about signing. I think you can sign a player out of the portal no matter what the dates are. It's a matter when they can get into the portal. But it also thinks like this is a frenzy. There are dozens of players coming in and out of Fayetteville and all the other college towns. You can have a sense of exactly what this roster looks like in about 10 days. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Remember, Roback, it's so gorgeous outside. And at Roback, they've got an Arkansas game day collection that's perfect for baseball season. Also great right now for basketball season. It's stuff you won't find anywhere else at Roback.com. Polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more. And you can get a 20% off your first order using the code RUSH25 at checkout. RHOBACK.com. Roback, where action meets comfort. Much more halftime coming up after this break.
We are the state's team.
This is halftime.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the relief hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
I love the horns down. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better series than what we got right here.
This is halftime.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Start the year strong with New Holland 300 Series compact track loaders from WT Equipment. Enjoy outstanding comfort, class-leading visibility, and best-in-class boom geometry for exceptional lift and reach. With fuel-efficient models from 60 to 90 horsepower and a wide range of attachments, the 300 Series CTLs are ready for whatever the job and the year throws at you. See the New Holland 300 Series compact track loaders today at WT Equipment in Springdale. WT Equipment. Equip your future, elevate your potential.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I hold on nervously, me and my train. Everything's cool in me, but so far it's not been good. It's been shitty, and I feel awkward as I should. This club has got to be a pretty precious thing, not for you and me. Well, I am imagining a dark life.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Quarterbacks made their decisions yesterday for where they'll be playing college football for next year. And one of them is Trinidad Chambliss. He announced he'll be returning to Ole Miss if he gets his extra year of eligibility from the NCAA, which honestly I don't think that we don't have rules about this, right? Or at least it doesn't feel like they do. So I think it's about playing Division II. I think he has another year, basically. I'm pretty sure the NCAA is going to give it to him. Austin Simmons transferred to Missouri. That's the former Ole Miss starter, the left-hander that got Wally pipped, if you want to call it that.
Drink got him, yeah.
That's right. Drink got him. Perbula I don't know where Perbula transferred to, but he went into the portal, I guess understanding that there was going to be a change.
You know these starting quarterbacks are making more. If you're not a first-round draft pick in the NFL and you're a starting quarterback in college, you're making more than any quarterback that got drafted not in the first round. It just behooves you. That's why I even said last year about Shedeur Sanders. He should, if he could get another year of college football, you do it.
Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, you start your career earnings, right? Well, you started your career earnings before you ever even thought about going into the draft.
Nice little nest egg.
What did I see? Duke's and Darian Mensah is making, I think, was it $5 million? It's like
what's going on?
I don't even know what to believe with some of these numbers, Matt. That's right. And then so yesterday, Texas Tech lands Brendan Sorsby, and he was the most sought-after quarterback in the portal. He chose Tech over Lane Kiffin and LSU. So he took the oil money, and the next thing you know, Tech puts up this is wild. Like what's the distance between Lubbock, Texas, and Times Square, Manhattan, New York City? Because they put a big ad welcoming Sorsby to Lubbock in Times Square. That basically means you got more money than you know what to do with. If you're advertising Texas Tech's future starting quarterback in Times Square, pay him $5 million and then throw $1 million just to put the ad in the crossroads of America.
It's pretty cool. I mean, Arch is making $4. That kid up at Michigan, he's making a same amount of money. So if you're going to be a big time starter, what a great time to be a college athlete.
And it keeps getting better, and it keeps getting better, and it keeps getting better, doesn't it?
I'd be trying to get another year as well.
But then there's also those guys that didn't get that are in the portal and are still in the portal. You even see a couple of those kids now that I got on the portal. I thought I would have a place to play. They didn't have a place to play. So I think it is really good for some kids and really bad for some others. But yeah, if you're a quarterback, that's for sure. You're going to be paid really, really well. Kentucky got a former Notre Dame quarterback, Kevin Minchie. He's the guy that lost the job to C.J. Carr in preseason. And Kentucky, Will Stein, the Oregon offensive coordinator, is their head coach as well now, and got him to flip from Nebraska to Kentucky. So, it's like I didn't think Arkansas was going to go out and look for a starter, but I think they found their backup in A.J. Hill, which also tells you why the other quarterbacks got into the portal. They were basically told this wasn't going to be a place for them, and I think they wanted to play.
Well, and I wonder how similar are they? Very similar in how they play and how they go about it. So you don't have to change the offense much. If you have two different style of quarterbacks, you have a guy that's going to be mobile. Now I know one's a lefty and one's a righty, so there's a little difference there. But yeah, if they're kind of similar in the way they play, you don't have to change too much. Now both guys will have things they do better. Like he'll be better at some things, he'll be better at others. So you kind of lean on their strengths, but you still don't have to change it too much.
It sounds to me like this last year that Silverfield and Cramsey had to, change their offensive philosophy because they didn't have that kind of quarterback they'd had previously. And I forget the kid's name.
Hennigan.
That's him. It was that great career.
Sam
at
or
Memphis.
Seth, but Hennigan. Yeah, he was a 4-year starter, big kid that just throws it around.
Right, because Lewis, the quarterback they had this year, was much more of a runner than a passer, and the stats showed that. But I think it's a passing-oriented offense quite a bit. And this kid Hill, I was reading about him. He is described as. Tell me what you think of when you hear this phrase. Described as a, quote, statuesque pocket passer with good shoulder twitch, unquote. He's 6'5", 235. He grew an inch, put on 20 pounds in his freshman season. 4 years of eligibility. Statuesque pocket passer, good shoulder twitch. What do you think?
Live arm and not very mobile. He's kind of maybe like a Big Ben. Big Ben can move a little bit. But statuesque makes me think he's not rushing. He's not breaking off a 37-yard run like Taylor Green. Complete opposite of Taylor Green.
Yeah, and I think an opposite of the quarterback that Memphis had this last year in Brendan Lewis, and different from KJ Jackson.
But it sounds like he got a big arm. So you just got to rein it in, make sure he's accurate. I didn't see accurate on any of that stuff right there. So the good shoulders, he's live. But we gotta get his touch. Maybe we got to get his accuracy. Work on. There's a couple things it sounds like you got to work on, but we're starting from somewhere, and there's always something to work on.
877-377-6963 for calls and texts as we check out some of those texts on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Let's see here. Dave and Branson talking on Brian's call last segment. And he's right about this because you can point to, you can't get players out of other lower levels and think you're going to build a program around that, but it's about identifying talent. And you can find talent anywhere. It's just that there's a lower hit rate, right? On lower level, I guess, than when you would see from players coming out of the SEC. It's like it's one thing that the baseball team's really good at is identifying players that aren't SEC players now, or even, other power conference players, and they can see how they will fit into the philosophy of the team and physically against the rest of the SEC. But baseball to football is a totally different thing here. And that's part of it. We'll find out about, how do you identifying talent and developing it too. And, I don't know how good Sam Pittman and the other coaching staff previously was good at identifying talent on a consistent basis relative to the amount of money they had to spend. This team, this coaching staff, and I still see this is one of the things about this portal that I'm trying to figure out. Arkansas is in a better financial position to spend money on players than they were last year and the year before. But I think everybody else in the SEC also is in a better position. So Arkansas is in a better position than they were last year, but relative to what? So if you're, I read about Carius Kern and his decision to choose Ole Miss. Does it have to do more with money? Does it have to do more with relationships? Well, Frank Wilson, who was the interim coach when Brian Kelly was fired at LSU, is now a coach on the Ole Miss staff. So that seems that would have to have something to do with it. I read Kyle Sutherland, who's the publisher at Hogbeat. He says this wasn't an NIL decision. This was a relationship decision. So you know what that also goes to? That goes to the previous coaching staff not being able to get him on the roster to begin with. And he built that relationship with Frank Wilson, and now he's over at LSU for that reason. Mark thinks that the Times Square deal for Texas Tech is great marketing and recruiting tactic. Yeah, it probably is. I mean, any sort of marketing tactic in Times Square is going to get noticed. If you've ever been there, you can't take your eyes off the signs, and you sort of remember a lot of those things. It's just they're usually selling jeans and beer and chicken wings and Coca-Cola.
First quarterback you remember being advertised in Times Square was who? That you remember? Because I know who I first remember. Joey Harrington, Oregon Ducks, when they did the Heisman campaign. That's when I was in high school then, but you're like, what's going, like what, and it was such a crazy deal because it's like, hadn't played a game yet. Joey Harrington for a Heisman in Times Square.
How long ago was that? Was that 20?
99.
20 years ago?
Something around, 25 years ago.
So 25 years ago, we would also associate Oregon with, wow, that's the Phil Knight program. They've got more money than they know what to do with.
They did. That's right.
And Texas Tech is in the same position.
And so is A&M.
Is a kid really going to Are you really going to make your decision? Is any part of your decision going to be based on being advertised or marketed in Times Square? I mean, I guess that helps. I guess that raises some of your profile.
They're into like streaming, into Facebook things, and Twitter. Like they're into all these things, and that's how you make revenue. I think that's a very possible. That's a strong possibility.
Well, I guess one of the only ways to make money nowadays is to get noticed. That's what influencers do. You are a professional getting noticeder. And I guess that's the same thing. Hey, college athletes too, they're influencers as well, because it's the same idea as like back in the day, Joe DiMaggio advertising, Mr. Coffee. Well, that was called a pitch man. He was an influencer too. It's just a different word. But there was no social media then. Joe DiMaggio would have had. Well, DiMaggio was a private guy.
Joe Namath.
DiMaggio would not have had any social media accounts. Namath would have been.
He did a legs commercial, didn't he?
He would have been the Travis Kelce of his time. And he would have had the podcasts, all the guests and everything, no doubt. Yeah, absolutely. 877-377-6963. Calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Matt in Baldwin says college football in Times Square is not a big deal. Pro football rules. You're right about that. But then again, where's the Heisman Trophy come from? It comes from the New York Athletic Club in Manhattan. So there is a lot of college football in Manhattan. It's just not actually played in Manhattan. But the biggest trophy is given away right there. And a lot of media attention is given right there. And it is probably the most famous set of crossroads in the entire country. So it's a big deal for the country. And it's a big deal to get noticed there.
They're going to put a Pavia poster up next.
Ooh. If he hasn't already put one up himself.
There you go.
Yeah, he does like himself some himself. He's got reason for that, too. I'm really interested to see what he's like. First of all, where he goes in the draft. And whether or not he's able to continue that same kind of bravado as a rookie in the National Football League.
Does he kind of remind you of another Vanderbilt quarterback in Jay Cutler? Kind of brash and kind of like like his first couple. But Jay Cutler had one. That's the one thing about Cutler when he was in the NFL. Top 5 strongest arm, and I don't know if Pavia has a top 5 strong arm, but Cutler did.
I think Pavia is a guy that's going to get away from you quite a bit, and I think. Cutler did have that face, though, too, right?
Kind of, yeah.
He had that resting bitch face where you just weren't sure he might actually compliment you and you thought he called your mother a nasty name. Pavia, not so much. All right, we'll be back in a moment. Wrap up hour number 2. This is Halftime.
You haven't been shooting the ball good, so get in the gym more.
This is Halftime.
Dozy Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Hey everybody, Zachary Hall here, otherwise known as the Arkansas Storm Tracker. If you have not stopped by the Jam Mart in Fort Smith on Phoenix Avenue, you're missing out. They have a brand new hot case in there. They serve breakfast, they serve lunch, they serve dinner. My personal favorite is the chicken strips and potato wedges. They also serve cheeseburgers as well. They have all sorts of options that you don't want to miss. Be sure to stop by and see your local Jam Mart, Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith today. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in Arkansas.
Fill her up, please.
Mustard or ketchup?
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
You're gonna be born. You're sweet from the wild because if you keep in shape, I'm being outdoors. I'm a two-star in the mud, playing twister in the bubble.
Welcome Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
New York Times, The Athletic, Sports has an article out where they have, I guess they did a lot of investigating, might have gotten some real answers about this, and they've got prices for players in the portal, essentially here. Quarterbacks making anywhere from $1 to $4 million, but higher than $4 million for the top players. Saying offensive tackles, defensive linemen, tackles, $600,000 to $1.3, edge rushers $500,000 to $2 million. Interior defensive linemen $500,000 to $1.5 million. Running backs $400,000 to $900,000. Wide receivers $500,000 to $1 million. Tight ends $300,000 to $900,000. Cornerbacks $250,000 to $1 million. Safeties $250,000 to $900,000. Linebackers up to $750,000. Interior linemen up to $700,000. It's a lot of money, Matt Jones.
I saw that this morning as well. Don't necessarily know I was doom scrolling at that time, but I gleaned over that.
So this all gets inflated at some point too. Can you imagine what these will be worth in 2 years?
Well, let's look at where we can get value. Who's the best running back in the land? Can we spend $1 million on 2 running backs? Because if everybody's only not even spending $1 million, where can we go find a couple guys to get where you got a good running game? You got a chance. You can stay in games. You can run the clock. You can shorten the game, limit possessions. You be creative in other places. If you can run the ball, it gives you a chance to stay in. Then you're in single score games a lot.
So they signed a running back yesterday. That's Sutton Smith, leading rusher for Memphis. You got Braylon Russell back.
Then we got a couple.
Outside of that, they still need more. I mean, yeah. Rodney Hill's in the portal, so you don't have I wouldn't call him the third down back.
Every single year that Braylon Russell's been an Arkansas Razorback, he's injured himself and missed games, and he's not even playing yet. So we got to remember that when he actually starts playing, is he going to get hurt more, or has he been injured because his pride was injured because he wasn't playing? So we don't know, but we do know that every year he's been up there, he has been out, just a scratch that he couldn't even dress out.
What they're going to need is a number one receiver. I don't know if the kid that came from Memphis is that number one receiver. Courtney Crutchfield is not going to be that number one. It's just there's a lot to replace. 70 players, I think, for Memphis last year out of the portal, or the last 2 years. Man, you're going to be close to that this year. At least it feels like it. In and out. Going to hour number 3 of halftime. We'll have Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio joining us in about 20 minutes. Our Lewis Automotive Group hotline is open. 877-377-6963, and we'll be back right after this.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be into the low 70s. Tonight, mainly clear and overnight low upper 30s. 40s. Wednesday, we will be in and out of the clouds. Our high on Wednesday in the mid to upper 60s. Showers, a chance of some storms on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Refuse to lose. Enough of the We're not losing.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no mock at halftime.
But they even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
And hour number 3, 101 in the afternoon. Welcome back in. Halftime continues on a beautiful Tuesday. This is ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com with Phil Elson and Matt Jones and Christian Johnston in the producer's chair. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, 15 minutes from now. Otherwise, wide open for you at 877-377-6963. Matt, I had missed this commitment from a Michigan running back today. Arkansas did get the commitment from a running back who had previously been at the University of Michigan, a sophomore. Jasper Parker is his name. And let's see here on Jasper Parker. Can't find many stats about him, but a guy that went to Michigan, 6'2", 205 previously. So there is a third running back that they've gotten. I'm assuming maybe there'll be a fourth.
Man, my favorite, Tyrone Wheatley was everybody's favorite Michigan running back, but Tim Biakabatuka was one of my favorite Michigan running backs.
Remember that name? Who
right?
Could forget it?
Jasper Parker, let's go. Come on, man. There's what's one thing that if you were to say something about Arkansas football, like the last 20 years, we got good running backs. We usually have a good running back. That's one thing you could hang your hat on. Come on.
Even in bad years.
Come on.
Yeah, you had Rakeem Boyd had a good season
All-American.
in an 0-8 year. Yeah, Rocket Sanders. Although Sanders wasn't so great that second year.
But he bounced back under Dow Loggins.
He sure did.
Yeah.
Hey, this last year too. Absolutely. 0-8? Why am I forgetting our guy's name?
Oh, from Rashard Dubinion that went out there? Or?
No,
the guy that we had this last year.
I should not be forgetting Arkansas's leading rusher from last year, but there's too much in my head at the moment.
Washington?
Thank
Ty
you.
Washington?
No,
Mike
Washington.
Mike Washington. Gosh, we
Ty
had a Ty
Washington
Washington.
was a tight end that Sam kicked off the team.
That just shows you what kind of season we had this year.
Mike
need to
is
remember
Mike
that.
is decent. He his speed might help him get on. I like Mike Washington, man. He's gonna, the way the running backs go in the NFL, he'll bounce around. Like if he can stay healthy, he'll find a job. Like that's good, right? Like he'll find a job.
Jasper Parker got into 6 games last year, 25 carries, 93 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he's got a little bit of experience, and that's the second transfer
So he should be
running
healthy.
back.
He should be healthy.
Should be
Yeah.
very. That's right. Same with Russell too. Guy didn't get he didn't get enough carries to be injured.
Hardest hit he got hit was in practice, right? He missed because of a concussion from practice.
Definitely felt that's right, and missed the last 3 games.
And I don't know if it's pride. If it's you got to say, feel that sting, big boy.
So just looking at some of the, let's see here. Ashton Daniels, former Auburn quarterback, going to Florida State. You're to Boise State safety. Ty Benefield committing to LSU. What do you got on both Kejuan Lacey and Trinidad Chambliss recommitting to Ole Miss for next year?
Lacey, yes, no question. Like some Kejuan Lacey. You think Trinidad is saying that because it won't get passed and he knows he's going to have, so he's more endearing to the Ole Miss people? Or do you think he gets a waiver and because
if I'm him, I want that year now.
I want to play college
don't you?
football again too and make $5 million and not worry about going up there and being a 4th round draft. Yeah, no question. It's easier on your body. You don't play 17 games with 4 preseason. I know you're playing a lot of games, but you're playing on the better team 90% of them. In the NFL, you're not playing on the better team 90% of the games.
They had an interview with him yesterday on ESPN, and he's talking about, I think he views he was honest about at least thinking about going to LSU because of his relationship with Kiffin, but talked more about Ole Miss as the place that brought him in from Division II, and that's where he's going to be. But it's just, I think we sort of expected that maybe the quarterback and the top running back would end up joining Kiffin at LSU. Turns out that's not the case. He won't get either of them. He didn't get this quarterback that Texas Tech got. So, you ain't going to get everybody just because you're LSU and you're Lane Kiffin.
He's such a good coach in the fact that he can identify your weakness. You give him a couple athletes, I think he's going to win a lot of ball games there at LSU. They'll have athletes.
Jawan in Fayetteville is on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. What's up, Jawan? How are you?
Hey, enjoying the day, Phil. How y'all doing today?
Doing the same, man. It's a gorgeous day. It feels like spring. I'm sure 2 weeks it'll be 10 degrees outside.
I don't know if everybody's noticing, but there's a major shift that I'm looking at going on in college football where everybody isn't just transferring to your major powers. And I'm looking at more of the major powers really relying heavily on their high school recruitment. And that's what's making it scary for me next season. A lot of people look at Georgia losing, but their starters were first and second year players. Freshmen and sophomores are redshirt freshmen. So they're a team that's not going to take very many transfers, and they're building a nucleus. And let's be honest, y'all, Georgia's still the top dog in the SEC champion in our league. I really, really hate the portal, guys. I'm not going to lie. We're not supplementing as a Razorback fan. We're not getting players into our program that I feel like are game-changing, like Matt Jones was saying earlier. If we're going to go after a running back, let's go after whoever the biggest, baddest running back. Let's go to Kejuan Lacey and throw him a deal. Let's not go down a couple levels and get some guys. Like, I'm not hating on Mike Washington, but he did not push the needle forward enough for us to get any kind of wins this year. Neither did Omega Blake or any of the other guys they pulled in. And I just want us to bring in some quality transfers. Even Kentucky right now are pulling in some pretty good players, y'all. So I'm really nervous to see what we're doing in the portal at the end. Are we going to improve our team? I don't know. Did Tulane have a chance to beat Ole Miss? I don't think so. So I don't think bringing in a bunch of group of 5 players is going to help us. So what do you guys think?
Well, hey, I mean, I'm with you on that. I think you're going to be bringing in some players from that level. It's just I don't think it's going to be an entire class of that.
20% of your portal can be group of 5. I think that's a good number. I don't think it should be, because some guys just mature at a different rate, man. Some guys, when they come out of high school, they're ready. Sometimes it takes them 3 college off seasons to kind of put some weight on or adjust to the speed of the game. I don't know that there's some set in stone number, Phil, but what do you think? 10 to 20%?
That sounds right, but just to some of the point here of what Jawan's getting at. So the Arkansas has had 9 transfers announced to join the team. 9 in as of now, 29 out. This is on the 24/7 Sports transfer board. And if you're looking at the Arkansas incoming transfers, there are 2 of them from power programs. That's the running back we just brought up, Parker, and the kicker, Max Gilbert, which I'm not sure if he made a step up in kicking or not, losing Starzik for him. 4 transfers from Memphis. You get the linebacker from Howard, McAllister from Georgia State, and then Christian Harrison from Cincinnati. Cincinnati's power program too, but I don't think quite at the level that you're thinking of. So, and so he brings up Georgia. 1 incoming transfer right now, 1 and 8 out. That's it. But that's a program with stability. So let me look at a different one. You look at a different program. Pick a program in the SEC right now, Matt, that you would think would be maybe in the same position as Arkansas. So we'll go with Auburn. Okay. Auburn's got 8 coming in, 32 going out.
About the same numbers right there.
Same numbers as Arkansas. Who's their head coach? Alex Golesh. All 8 transfers were South Florida Bowls. Every last one.
That's the same conference that played Memphis right there, huh?
Mm-hmm. Pick another team. Let's go with Florida. That's Sumrall. Same conference, okay? 9 coming in, 30 going out.
Close.
So he's got a couple of guys coming from Tulane. There's a punter and a kicker from Tulane. That's exciting.
What about South Carolina?
Got an interior offensive lineman from Penn State for Florida. Wide receiver out of Georgia Tech, running back out of Cincinnati, tight end out of James Madison, quarterback out of Georgia Tech, and a couple of players on defense from Boston University. Let's go to South Carolina. South Carolina, 1 incoming transfer as of now. It's a wide receiver, Jaden Gibson out of Oklahoma, 21 outgoing transfers. But they can't be sitting on just 1 incoming transfer for very long, I would think. But, so here it is. Matt, so Auburn is in almost the exact same situation as Arkansas is with the numbers and even the coach bringing in some of his former players.
And I like it, though. I figured that number, you said 9 at Auburn. I feel like we're going to get there. But it maybe not, because it didn't happen overnight. Like those 9 have already happened. I feel like there will probably be a couple more kids from Memphis come on over.
And the other thing too is like on Jawan's call, and this was obvious when you were watching the team this year. They put more money into offense than defense. I was fine with the offensive trend. Mike Washington's a good SEC running back.
He's going to play on Sundays.
Maybe he's not some Pro Bowler or anything, but the guy I thought he had a really good year. Omega Blake, I thought Blake fell off in the second half of the season. One of my favorite transfers that came in was Rohan Jones.
Omega Blake, maybe it was attitude, because talent-wise, I think he's talented, but I think it's hard. Some players don't react the same, Phil. And you've been around a lot of minor league teams and been a part of a lot of streaks, but sometimes when you're not winning, man, their attitude is just they're totally gone. And I'm not saying that's the case, but I've seen it. You see that happen.
I think that was an issue with Blake somewhat. You could see that in the game sometimes. Here's Cecil on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Good afternoon, Cecil. What's up?
Hey, Mr. Phil. What's up, Matt?
Yo. Good to hear from you, Cecil. Happy New Year.
Well, Happy New Year's, brother. Happy New Year's. Matt actually answered my question. I knew what it was. I heard a gentleman get up and said on here a minute ago and said that something about Mike Washington wasn't that good or something. But Mike Washington is an NFL running back. I hate he's not going to be here this season because he got over 1,000 yards and he still didn't run up to his full potentials because the games that we lost games we should have won. He fumbled a few times, but he's a great running back. He put me in the mind of Darren McFadden. He's really fast, not what Darren does other than run the football, but Darren did a lot. But that's all I wanted to say. He's a great. What is he? Did he transfer, or is his eligibility up, or what?
Washington? No, he's out of eligibility.
Senior, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see him on Sundays for sure.
Yeah, I think you will.
And yeah, that's all I had to say. Y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, Steve. Did I hear an at church in the background there?
Steve McMahon over here?
Yeah, we'll see him at church on Sunday.
Listen to C joke.
Saving
joke.
a seat over
Sitting on the end of the couch over there. Yeah. The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and C Unit. We'll be back in just a moment with the one and only Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio.
Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now.
Darius, what's the lock point on this? Kind of like either who can get up and get it for anywhere on the floor.
Yeah, it's great. First play of the game. I seen it early.
That foul is on Bebe Miller, and the Hogs run a lob on the other end. A-cup to Brazil, and there's the first dunk of the preseason.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Family owned and operated since 1950, Crabtree RV Center is proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 amazing years. From a small dealership on Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith to 17 acres located at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, Arkansas, Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, and parts. Come celebrate 75 years with us and take advantage of spectacular savings all year long. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
A new year is here, and Gelco Outdoors is ready to help you with a new pair of comfortable casual work or safety shoes and boots. The largest selection of footwear in the River Valley. Start the new year off in comfort. Warm winter clothing in stock to keep old man winter at bay. Cheers to you, and Happy New Year from your locally owned Gelco Outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. A stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
Early detection saves lives. I'm Dr. Gwendolyn Bryant Smith. At the UAMS Breast Center, we use advanced mammography with same-day results for both screening and diagnostic studies.
I'm Dr. Rhonda Henry Tillman. Understanding breast health is your first step to early detection.
Make yourself a priority and schedule your mammogram.
Call 501-526-6100 and let's paint Arkansas pink.
Sponsored by this station, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and UAMS.
Get ready to light up the trail and crank up the sound because Moose Blackout light bars are here. 40 inches down to a compact 7 inches. These beasts cut through the darkness like nothing else. Check out Boss Audio sound bars. Need pulling power? KFI winches have you covered with 3,500 pound and 5,000 pound models built tough for any terrain. And for pure premium sound, go stealth with Wet Sounds. Crystal clear audio built for the bold. Moose, Boss, KFI, Wet Sounds. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
What's the matter with the clothes I'm wearing? Can't you tell that your tie's too wide? Maybe I should buy some old tab collars. Welcome back to the age of jive. Where have you been hiding out lately, honey? You can't dress and slash it till you spend a lot of money. Everybody's talking about the new sound, funny, but it's still rock and roll to me. What's the matter with the car I'm driving? Can't you tell that it's out of style? Should I get a set of white wall tires? Are you gonna cruise a miracle mile? Nowadays you can't be too sentimental. Your best bet's a true baby blue continental. Hot, fun, cool, pop. Even if it's old junk, it's still rock and roll to me.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hey, remember the Fence Man. If you're looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong, 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man, serving our listening audience for over 40 years, building custom one-of-a-kind fences, commercial, high-security, residential, automatic gates as well. 18-month financing available. Call 479-782-3936. Go to thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. On our Lewis Automotive Hotline on a Tuesday afternoon is Bill King, host on WNSR from 6 to 9 Monday through Friday, the king of college football talk. And Happy New Year to you, Bill. We got a couple of really exciting semifinal matchups coming up this week. What are you thinking?
Well, you've got what we've discussed a lot, the best defensive front in college football, and as good a pair of defensive ends as you're going to see at Miami, against a dynamic Ole Miss offense with probably 5 legit dangerous playmakers, a quarterback who's playing his best ball, a running back who's the best running back out there right now that's playing, Kejuan Lewis, and Kejuan Lacey, and then a bunch of receivers and a good tight end. Something's got to give there. I'm wondering if those running backs, and include Trinidad and Chambliss in that category, can keep kicking it outside and get to the corner like they're doing. I don't know if you can do that on Miami.
Well, one of the things, watching that Miami defense, Bill, it looked like a throwback a little bit, and I was surprised they didn't throw any personal flags on the play. I could see a couple of those Miami guys, launching helmet to helmet, leading with the crown of your helmet. They were being physical and playing fast. Are you worried about that at all in this matchup with Miami?
Well, Chambliss is not tiny, but he's not. I don't think he's 200 pounds. He's probably 195, 200. And, yeah, you're going to get hit like you hadn't been hit before if you're Ole Miss. And now, I'm going to say this. Ole Miss is the best offense they will have seen. More weapons, more threats, because you got a quarterback who's the athlete that Marcel Reed is, and he's immeasurably more accurate than Marcel Reed. This Trinidad Chambliss is ridiculously accurate on all the passes for a 5'11", whatever they list him, quarterback. That works both ways, but you're right. This is a Miami team that's physical everywhere, and their linebackers, a lot of linebackers these days will run around block. These guys go right through you. Their safeties are heat-seeking missiles. Mm-hmm. They come downhill on you. It's going to be a fun matchup.
I was looking at some of the numbers for Miami recently, and they're doing this against teams that just didn't allow a lot of sacks. 21 sacks in the last 4 games. 12 sacks in the 2 playoff games. A&M had given up only 19 sacks all year. Ohio State had allowed just 16. And then Ole Miss was number 1 in the SEC at not taking sacks. And you just see how this is going to work out for them, right?
I think Ole Miss's offensive line is solid, but I think that's the product of Trinidad Chambliss. I don't think they're excellent on the O-line. I think there's a mismatch here with Miami up front. But those 2 backs, Lacey and Chambliss, are so dynamic. That's what this is going to come down to. Because these guys, I think, have to make plays outside of the play call all the time. And they do.
Does this change your opinion of Cristobal at all? I mean, 2 road wins in massive stadiums with, well, it's not, you're not playing at the Horseshoe, but still at the Cotton Bowl. But to win at A&M with that crowd going, the way they shut that offense down, has your opinion of Mario Cristobal changed in terms of being a game coach?
Yes. He's got a team good enough to win a national championship right now. Now, I would probably go with IU overall just because I've never seen a team coached better than they are. But Mario Cristobal, resume-wise, about in-game Georgia Tech game a year ago, decisions not well. Remember, they ran off their defensive coordinator. That was a really good idea. Coordinator they got from Minnesota has been fantastic for them. He's made a lot of good decisions. His portal decisions have been very good. Carson Beck hasn't been great, but he's been solid. And they've got the best freshman in the country in Malachi Tony.
So you trust – what quarterback do you trust more on the Carson Beck or Chambliss?
Chambliss.
What about go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, what about him? Is it because his accuracy? Is it because he could – because Beck's in his 6th year as well. I trust Carson Beck, and I think that he's doing some good things there, but you trust Chambliss more than Carson Beck.
And I think he's a better college quarterback because he's so threatening. He's threatening any way you want to do it in the passing game. He's not the pro prospect Carson Beck is as a pocket passer, but he can hurt you in more ways. You played a lot of basketball, scored all those points. Trinidad Chambliss is a point guard who can get 30 on his own in a game.
He's a facilitator, yeah.
Well, he's both. I mean,
Yeah.
he can distribute points, or you may say, okay, in this game, Trinidad, I don't think our other playmakers can make the plays. I need you to score 30 as your point guard. That's getting it to the rim. That's and ones. That's shooting from the perimeter. That's floaters. He can do all that.
We got a point guard that can do that.
Yeah.
I know. I saw.
That's for sure. You might have just seen that game too, Bill, right?
I saw the highlights. I wasn't watching it, but I saw Coach Cal talking about it. Coach Cal, guys, he's always been a phenomenal recruiter.
Well, that's for sure. Who's got the best defense still? Do you think is it Miami or Indiana? Because I'm really impressed with Indiana's ability to win a couple of low-scoring games. I just didn't think they would get involved in. What do you think?
Here's how I categorize it. Miami's more athletic. I don't know that you can be better coached on either side of the ball than Indiana. So I think it's somewhat of a stalemate. If it's about prospects, about elite speed and talent, and then Miami's clearly better. But, guys, again, I've never seen a team more prepared or well scouted when it comes to the other two. I swear to you guys, I think when Indiana scouts their opponent, I think they end up knowing more about the opponent than the staff of the opponent. That's how good they are. That's how crazy and well coached they are.
How much does it matter that it's a rematch? That Indiana Oregon game. Now I know it was 8 weeks ago. It was a while ago. But when you win a game, you have a tendency not to change too much. You have a tendency to go with what works. Does Indiana change a little bit? Has Oregon got better? I guess since that game, has Oregon improved more or has Indiana improved more?
I thought Georgia, and I know that's not your question, would beat Ole Miss again. Obviously, that didn't happen.
Both of us
a lot
thought
of times,
the same thing, Bill.
Right. A lot of times the team that won the first time won because they're the better team, and they prove it. And you got the other adage, hard to beat a team twice. Both are true. I like Indiana. Now, Oregon's come a long way, and Oregon certainly could win that game, and that wouldn't be an upset, but I like Indiana. And they won out there at Autzen Stadium. Remember, Mendoza threw a pick six, and Oregon had all the momentum in the late third quarter, early fourth quarter, and they kick off to Indiana, and Indiana drove like 80 yards like nothing ever happened in facing adversity and a crowd going nuts. That was one of the most impressive things I saw all year.
Is Mendoza the best quarterback that's still playing right now?
He's the best prospect. If you said, Bill, forget all the other stuff, who's the best college football quarterback, who's the most impactful playing right now, it's Trinidad Chambliss, a guy that played at Ferris State.
Yeah, does that mean everybody? There's got to be. Well, I'm sure they were doing it beforehand, but looking at Division II quarterbacks and kind of dreaming the story of Trinidad Chambliss, who, by the way, chases Austin Simmons to Missouri now that he says he's going to stay at Ole Miss. And this is also just the such interesting backstory to what's going on in this playoff for Ole Miss. I think Charlie Weiss Jr. will stay to coach plays. What about the rest of that offensive staff? Is Kiffin allowing them to stay?
It changes with the win. And Kevin Smith, who's the running back coach, wasn't going to come back, and now he did come back. And he was there for the first 2 games, but then there was talk right after the second win for Ole Miss he would go to Baton Rouge, wouldn't come back. He's back. I think it's fluid. I think it's a little awkward, guys, because literally you've got LSU coaches who were coaching Ole Miss in the Ole Miss offices, and they're portaling for LSU. It's really weird. Now, but here's the calculation. All this talk about how the transitioning and coaches doing 2 jobs, and it's going to really affect Ole Miss, which I thought was a plausible theory, has not done that at all. It's tightened them. This team has come together over this. It's had the opposite effect of what the theory was about how this would hurt them.
I guess it says something about Pete Golding and their belief in Golding. It must. Yeah, things may.
Well, it's a truly us against the world, like what Ryan Day wants to say. Because if you're Pete Golding, you can say your head coach didn't even believe in you anymore. He left because he's going to LSU because he thinks he can win. He doesn't believe you. I mean, it's a true chip on your shoulder.
Yep, it's sellable, it's believable, it's real, and I think it's helped them. I'm not picking them to win the national championship, although there's only 4 left. Maybe they will, but it's tightened them up. That has become a battle cry.
If Indiana or Oregon, so if the Big Ten win a 3rd straight national title, is that the football capital? Are they the best conference in the world?
Well, I would think, yeah. I mean, that's 3 in a row from that league. SEC will have not won one since 22 in Georgia. Now they've won a bunch of them the last 20. I think in the last 20 years they've won 14 of them. So it depends on, you can broaden out the graph and look at it. But I would say in the moment, yeah, they've won the last 3 if that happened.
Well, we're in the middle of portaling season, and it's like I think I saw the number was 8 transfers into Arkansas, 28 or 29 out. So we're reacting to each announcement, but trying not to make it seem like it's the the beginning or the end of anything. It's just kind of looking to, and I wonder how you're handling this on the show, because during NFL free agency, on a pro football show, well, that's going to be your focus. It's just that's not happening during the playoffs or during the Super Bowl, and that'll be a little bit different for us. So, like, I'm looking to January 16th is when I will look at the Arkansas roster and start making up my mind as to what I think it looks like. Because to do it during these 2 weeks, it feels a little bit like an exercise in futility. Although for Arkansas, Bill, there is an interesting aspect to it because there's the whole point of this coaching staff is funded to go get the players that the previous coaching staff wouldn't have been able to get. So they're missing on some players here and there, and that might be telling you, well, they might have increased their spending at Arkansas, but what does that mean relative to anybody else?
Yeah, that's good to hear. We've talked about that a lot, even on my show about Arkansas. And no, I think with the quarterback situation and all the quarterbacks portaling, and there's a couple left. Deuce Knight probably going to be going to Ole Miss too, by the way. Wow. Incredible athlete, lefty. But it's a fun time, guys. We talk a lot about these players in the portal. Now, I don't do list radio where you're going over everybody's list, but we mix that in with the Final Four teams right now. It's a mixture of all of the above.
Bill, we always appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on. Enjoy the games, and we'll preview the championship game next week if you can join us.
Thank you.
You got it. Bill King, he hosts 6 to 9 on WNSR. That's Nashville Sports Radio. It is worth some of your time if you got it. And he'll join us each Tuesday here on Halftime. Our Lewis Automotive Group hotline open for the home stretch, 877-377-6963. I want to remind you about North Arkansas Regional Medical Center, bringing better to you across their 5-county area. Totals 95,000 people in north central Arkansas. They feature 18 clinics, including 3 rural clinics. They want to tell you about the Claude Parrish Cancer Center, where they specialize in providing comprehensive cancer care services. The Radiation Oncology Department performs over 7,500 procedures each year, and the Medical Oncology Department performs over 5,000 procedures each year. This is the most sought-after option for cancer care in northern Arkansas. You can learn more about North Arkansas Regional Medical Center at www.narmc.com. And we're back into the home stretch of halftime right after this.
People ask, why did you press? Just to get in their legs. They're making every single shot. Let's make them run some and see if they can still make shots.
This is halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate
Thanks
in
for
Virginia.
watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tender love and care makes life worth living. Tender love and care, that's what I'll be given. Every day, every night to you.
They say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But we put it inside burritos and tacos anyway. Crispy chicken from Taco Bell, a brand new classic.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Football playoffs are here, and MyBookie is where you turn bets into bankroll. Everybody's betting. The NFL is in full do-or-die mode, college football down to the last teams, and the Super Bowl is just around the corner. If there was ever a time to get in the game, it's right now, and MyBookie makes it stupid easy to play. One account, one wallet, bet the spread, the live bet the second half, hit the casino during commercials. It's all in one place, and you've got the power. Go to MyBookie.ag now, use promo code HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it doesn't hit, use your get back bonus token and run it back. Don't just watch the playoffs, make them pay. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only at MyBookie.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend Matt Jones.
I had to do a double take on this and actually go back and make sure it was real. I went on the ProFootballReference.com website to double check this. The New York Jets finished this season, Matt, as the only team in NFL history to never record an interception. They went an entire year.
They got Aaron Glenn's their coach too. He's
How'd that
a defensive
happen?
guy.
Yeah, you might have taught him how to do it.
You got to get fired if that. I mean,
it's his first year and it's the
No.
Jets. I don't know.
You have to get
That's a
fired.
tough stat though. That's a really tough to be a part of. Yeah.
515 passing attempts against the Jets this year, and not a single interception. Second fewest was 6 by San Francisco.
Didn't Trump, he let all the Air National, the control guard people, he left them off work. So the Jets, they didn't have anybody
There you
working
go.
right there. They
That's
didn't have
the
anybody
logic to
working
work within.
the tower.
It's the logic to work with them. Well, you could run against them pretty easily this year, too. Oh, man. It's like, how do you actually go through a season? You think of all the years where the NFL and a team might have thrown the ball 80 times for a whole season. I mean, this is the day and age of a
and they added
of
2
a passing
games.
offense. I guess now part of it is, a lot of it is that you're throwing more shorter passes, a little bit more difficult to get in the middle of. But man, that's just how long has the NFL been a thing? The late 30s, I think, or the early 40s when the NFL actually formed as the NFL, and for it to be this long, and you finally have a team with 0 interceptions. Congratulations, New York Jets. Think they're going to be drafting a cornerback?
Can we get any of their guys in the portal? Is there no?
We didn't have many interceptions. I'm surprised just.
I thought there would have been a year recently where Arkansas had.
We had a pick 6 and still lost the game, didn't we? Was that Mississippi State? We had a
That's
pick
right.
6.
Auburn.
Yeah.
Auburn. Yeah.
There was a season recently where, because turnovers for Arkansas's defense, obviously was a main problem a couple of years ago. I don't know if Arkansas has gone through a year without an interception. That would take a little bit more research, which Matt, I'm always ready to do.
That's true. I can trust your research. I'd like to go through a season with no fumbles.
Oh, that'd be great.
Maybe just I understand you're going to fumble no more than 2. Like you're going to fumble here and there, but why can't we strive for 0 fumbles?
At least the Jets had 11 fumble recoveries, go along with their 0 interceptions. Kevin and Rogers on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Kevin, what's up?
Hey, guys. Hey, Matt. Hey, Phil. Happy New Year.
You too. Thank you, Kevin.
First of all, I just got a couple things. First, I want to thank Matt Jones. Matt, I think Malik Thomas was listening to you a few weeks ago before the James Madison game when you said that he's definitely not going to be drafted in the NBA, and ever since then he's been red hot. So thank you for motivating him a little bit.
That's not what I said. I said he's not a one-and-done lottery pick.
Okay, something to that effect. But whatever you did, I'm happy with it. I love it. I'm glad he's playing well. So kudos. The Hogs look good. Hey, a little bit about Mississippi. Malik Dia ruled us last year, and he's still there. Big-time center down there. Ole Miss is going to be tough. I agree with Matt. Winning on the road they haven't done that yet. They haven't won a road game yet. They've played well, decent at Michigan State, but lost. It's a different bird. And Mississippi on history has kind of always had our number. That's a tough place to win. And if you look, I mean, they're a little bit different team than they were last year, but he brought in 10 transfers. I mean, a lot like Memphis. I mean, he's only got a couple of returners. He lost some guys. So, you know, that team's going to be okay by the end of the year. And most of their losses are 3 to 5 points. St. John's only beat them by 5. A couple other big majors beat them by 4 or 5 points. So we're going to have to really play well. I mean, winning on the road is just tough. I just wanted to get your all's take on it. I mean, it's, you know, it's a tough, you know, just a tough road. I mean, you got 2 road games. Auburn's played a schedule that's very similar to ours. I mean, and they should have beat Georgia, and that's not going to be an easy place to win either. So I'll just hang up, see what you have to say. Thanks, guys, and woo pig.
All right, here's what I know about Ole Miss, just in terms of who they've played and who they've beaten this year. They haven't beaten anybody. No one. They beat Memphis, that's it. Otherwise, wins against Southeastern Louisiana, Louisiana Monroe, Bakersfield, Austin P, Southern Miss, Alabama A&M, and Alcorn. When they've played a team that plays in a major conference, they've lost. Iowa, Utah, Miami, St. John's, NC State, Oklahoma. It doesn't matter to me that this game is being played in Oxford. This is a game Arkansas should win and will win.
I saw a stat that had Ole Miss at still about a 60% chance to make the tournament. I think that's way too generous. I think Ole Miss is about a 25% chance to make the tournament. I agree with you. We're better at every single position. The thing is, it's tough to win on the road, guys. You get the atmosphere going. The kids usually play a little bit better at home. Chris Beard's going to try to slow it down and limit possessions. You know, if you can limit the possessions total, then it is going to be a closer scoring game when it gets down to the last 4 or 6 minutes, and then hopefully he can put some pressure and make you make a mistake. That's what you know about a Chris Beard team. They'll be well coached and they'll be tough, but we're better at every single position, 1 through 5. We're and Diop's a stud. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's playing in the NBA though. I don't think he's that good, but he's a stud.
Dia coming off of 17-6 and a loss against Oklahoma. Last year, he had 21 points, 8 rebounds in the regular season game against Arkansas. Then when they beat the Hogs in the SEC tournament, he finished with 19-8. So he had 2 really good performances against him.
Like a Zach Randolph type player. Like he's got a little game to him. He's fluid. He moves well, but he's not like overly athletic, but he's got some good skill to him. I like his game, no question about it. He's a heck of a player. But yeah, they got, and he's older and he's been around for a little bit, so he's going to be crafty.
8:00 tomorrow, 7:30 for the Courtside Show with Chuck and Zim, and of course we'll be talking all about it on Thursday morning when we come back on halftime. Thank you very much, Kevin. Appreciate the phone call. He gave you credit for getting Malik going there, huh?
Well, it's weird how we choose what we want to hear. I want Arkansas to win every one of their games they ever play in the history of sports. But all I said was he's not a one and done lottery pick. Dude's a heck of a player. I'd like to see him for another year. Look at his body. Look how he's built. I mean, he's a heck of a player. He's just not a one and done lottery pick.
I want you to make plans to attend the Northwest Arkansas Boat and Outdoor Expo. It's starting coming up soon. This starts on Thursday, and it'll go all through January the 11th at the Rogers Convention Center. This is if you're into fishing, kayaking, outdoor vibes. You got it all for you at the Northwest Arkansas Boat and Outdoor Expo, Thursday through Sunday at the Rogers Convention Center. You'll meet amazing vendors, get a look at all the latest gear, and grab great tips for your next big adventure. The Northwest Arkansas Boat and Outdoor Adventure, January 8th through the 11th at the Rogers Convention Center. It's where your next adventure begins. And we're back in a moment to wrap up the show. This is halftime.
Steal by the Razorbacks, knocks to the other end, and a throwdown.
This is halftime.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. My favorite sport is hockey. I love the ice, the sliding, and especially the hits, but I don't love those things on our roads. Winter weather is here, so slow down and drive defensively. But if a bad driver gets past your goalie, call me to make a power play against the insurance company. After 13 years of settling car wreck claims, I've got more than a few tricks in my hat. Call 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
You stop it.
Around here, we don't just know your name. We know your dad's favorite truck and your kid's baseball team. That's how it is when you've been in the same town for 90 years. At Hug Chevrolet GMC, we believe in handshakes, hometown service, and treating you like family. Because you're not just a customer, you're a neighbor. Hug Chevrolet GMC. The people, the place, the pride.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
The holidays are over and it's time to organize your storage. Ace has always been the helpful place, and right now we're even more helpful by helping you organize all of your storage spaces. Right now, get great deals on storage solutions at Metters Lumber Ace Hardware, like 27-gallon heavy-duty storage totes for only $8.99, Sterilite latching storage totes for only $6.99, or select shelving units for only $79.99. Now through the end of the month, only at Metters Lumber Ace Hardware in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville. Ace, the helpful place.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Hey, Ty Richardson at my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue. And Cricket, we always talk about specials. You know Thursday is my personal favorite night. We're here every Thursday. Bucket special, hard to beat.
You gotta love the bucket special. I mean, you come in, you can get 5 domestic bottles in a bucket for $15, and then you get to hang out at Papa's. It's a great deal.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Cricket, what do you think about Papa's Pub and Pizzeria?
I think it's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith and perhaps the world.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Johnny was a schoolboy when he heard his first Beatles song. Love me do, I think it was, and from there it didn't take him long. Got himself a guitar, used to play every night. Now he's in a rock and roll outfit, and everything's alright. Don't you know? Johnny told his mama, hey mama, I'm going away.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Back on halftime as we wrap up our show here today on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com with a reminder that you can always take our shows, our podcasts with you on the Hit That Line Now app. Just download from the App Store or Google Play, and it's brought to you by Taco Bell. Tomorrow on Halftime, just Grant Hall. Talk with Grant a little bit. Clay will be with us again on Thursday as long as all the equipment is working properly. It's just taking a look at the basketball schedule. You got basketball tonight for the SEC. This is interesting, Matt. When you look at the basketball schedule, the Big Ten has conference games almost every single day of the week. So at any time of the week, you could turn on Peacock or Fox, and they're going to have a Big Ten basketball game on. The SEC is still keeping it to Tuesday, Wednesday, and then everybody plays on Saturday. So I don't think it's like
I like it.
Criticizing the league or anything. It's just I think it's good for a league when you know a game is always on.
I could see a little holiday hours, something like that. But as a player, I like the routine. You like knowing that you're playing Tuesday, Wednesday, then you're playing on Saturday. Like you're able to get into. I think you play better, but hey, it's all about that bottom line.
Yeah, Georgia at Florida, Carolina at LSU, Texas at Tennessee, A&M at Auburn today. The rest of the league plays tomorrow, and it's just going to look at the Big Ten schedule here just to flesh it out for you, okay? Because so they played. There was Big Ten basketball January 2nd. That's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They have Big Ten league games going on. I think that's 9 or 10 straight days when you have an 18-team league. But then again, I think some of that might have to do a little bit with the geography of it. But in the SEC, we get it nice and neat, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then everybody on Saturday. I think that works out really well.
And then, Phil Elson, how cool is this? Razorback basketball game tomorrow night, college football playoff game Thursday, college football playoff game Friday, Razorback basketball again Saturday night. What a good time.
Fits in well. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to watch the Ole Miss Miami game at least the first 2 hours because that's the exact time that South Carolina and Arkansas tip off for a women's basketball game at Bud Walton. But I'll get Indiana and Oregon the next day when I'm just hanging out.
That's the one you want, though, right? If you could choose one game to watch, isn't that the one you're watching?
I don't know. I kind of want to watch both of them. I want to watch both of them, but it's like, I can't even. And I'm not going to record the game and watch it later. I'll just pick it up probably in the end of the third quarter, which is when I picked up the FCS championship game yesterday, and that's when it got really, really good. So maybe I shouldn't complain about it. Just call the game I'm contracted to call, and then watch what I can watch when I can watch it. Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a few minutes. They'll take you right up until 7 o'clock today, and we're looking forward to joining you again tomorrow. Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast is out. And we'll have our talk with Alyssa Orange and also with Bill King and any of the other highlights that C-Joke there in the background has picked up on. And back with you tomorrow. So for Matt and Christian, I'm Phil. That's halftime. Go have yourself a great rest of your Tuesday.